Good morning everybody, we're last seen somewhere and we are in New York.
We've just left our hotel, we're staying on West 28th Street and we're going to walk right up through Manhattan, checking out all the iconic things we can see on the way up there and ending in Central Park. So we're sat here on the very famous red steps right in the middle of Times Square and it is so busy. It gets 330,000 visitors a day, which equates to over more than 50 million people a year pass through here.
Yeah, it's absolutely packed here with people. In fact, it's one of the most busiest pedestrianised area in the world.
It's so popular with all the tourists, but you do have to be very careful though, because there's a lot of scams going on and there's signs warning you about the scams, and there's people dressed up as characters that can get a little bit aggressive apparently, isn't there?
Yeah, and there's sort of people dressed up as monks trying to sell you stuff. They're trying to give you free CDs, which obviously then you've got to pay for. Yeah, you have got to be a bit careful down there, and obviously this is a lot of people as well.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tourist trap, I will say, but keep your wits about you and you'll be absolutely fine.
But I love it down here with all the billboards, all the lights, and we haven't seen it at night yet, so hopefully we're going to come down and have a look at it at night as well. It should be so cool.
It's just as impressive as I'd hoped it would be, I've got to be honest, it's fantastic here.
So now we're at Grand Central Station and wow, what an amazing place. It is the most grandest train station I think I've ever been in.
It is absolutely massive. I'm blown away by how big it is. It is 48 acres in size and it has 44 platforms. It is huge.
Yeah, it is a big old place. It's also a very busy place and it has 21 million visitors pass through here a year. So it's known for a few interesting things. It's got the world's largest Tiffany clock on the outside of the building as you walk in, and there's also another clock in the main concourse. There's a four-faced opal clock, and it's like the meeting clock where everybody meet when they get off the train. They meet their loved ones and their families.
It's in such an impressive room. The ceiling is fantastic. It's a beautiful building. I'm blown away by this place. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, and I think it's got a speakeasy here, but we haven't found it yet, so it must be hidden away really well.
Yeah, they've hidden that well. They've done a good. That's a really good speakeasy when you can't find it.
Like a cocktail bar there, and it's also got sort of a food court underneath, and it's got retail places in here. It's just massive. There's just loads in here.
It's such a beautiful building. It's
very
really
impressive.
impressive.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So we've come to the Empire State Building, probably the most iconic building here in New York. Obviously ridiculously famous for having a giant gorilla swinging from the top of it a couple of times.
Yeah, it is also a landmark of the city. It's quite a tall building, so you can see it all over the city. I think it's 1,400 feet tall with the antenna on the top. And it was built in the Art Deco style in the 1930s.
But it is a really impressive building, it really is. And it's one of those buildings I've wanted to see my entire life. It's hard to believe that it's almost 100 years old. It's also incredibly difficult to film close up.
Yeah, you can just see the base of it.
Yeah. So we're really enjoying walking around New York. It's been quite an experience so far, hasn't it? The streets are so busy, it's quite difficult to do this. We have to keep getting out of people's ways. But there's so much to see. It seems like every corner you turn around, there's something cool.
Look at. Yeah, there's something out there. It's good. So our next stop today is the Rockefella Centre.
And of course this place is incredibly famous for its giant Christmas tree and its ice skating rink at Christmas.
Yeah, and they're actually down there at the moment rollerblading, not ice skating because it's obviously summer, but yeah, they're using the rink.
And like a lot of the iconic buildings here in New York, it was built in the 1930s.
But it's not just one building, I don't think, is it? I think it's lots of, like, a complex of buildings.
It's incredibly popular and they're pumping music out and people are really just chilling out and enjoying themselves here. It's a lovely area, it really is.
Really nice atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah, lovely.
Nice vibe.
As much as we're thoroughly enjoying walking around, it is so hot in New York City today.
We're trying to keep on the shady side of the street.
So we're at the Chrysler building and I think it's a fantastic building. It's probably the most attractive building I've seen here in New York. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is very pretty, and like the Empire State Building which we spoke about earlier, it was also built in the early 1930s. It's also Art Deco, but I think it's so pretty, unlike the Empire State Building, which is quite plain.
When they built the building and it was finished, people in New York really didn't like it. They said it was an uninspired design, it's boring. But how times have changed and tastes changed, because now it's considered the most beautiful building in New York. I totally and actually agree. It's brilliant.
And there's another one of those buildings which we're actually stood in front of it, but you can't see it because it's all the way up there. Because it's actually 1,048 foot tall, and it's the tallest brick-built steel frame building in the world.
Yeah, it's a phenomenally impressive building. It really is. So we've made it to Central Park. It probably wasn't the best idea today, do everything by foot.
No, I think we picked one of the hottest days of the year to walk around New York. It's really hot today.
Yeah, it's been great fun doing it, but boy, it's been hot. But Central Park's lovely, it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a nice green space. It's a massive green space, so we'll see. So I don't think we're going to be walking very far around it because, like we say, we are very hot. But it's nice to come and see it.
Yeah, it is lovely to experience, I've got to be honest. It's very busy as well. For some unknown reason, I thought it was going to be a lot quieter than this. I don't know why.
Lots of people.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Like everywhere in New York.
So we're going to call it quits for today. It's so hot. It's time to head back and have ourselves a well-earned beer, I think.
That sounds like a plan.
We're last seen somewhere. Thank you for watching.
And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.